There's no denying that ChatGPT and OpenAI has had a meteoric rise over the past couple of months. They've created one of the best, easiest to use, and smartest large language model, and it seemed as though no one would be able to compete with ChatGPT, but that was until Anthropic came around. Anthropic are the creators of Claude 2, and in my opinion, Claude 2 is the biggest rival and the biggest threat to ChatGPT. So in today's video, we'll be doing a head-to-head comparison to see if Claude 2 has overtaken ChatGPT as the best AI large language model and the best AI chat box. So let's go ahead and get started. Before getting into the full analysis, let's take a look at what Anthropic is and who it was built by. Anthropic's CEO and some of its top founding members were actually ex-employees of OpenAI. They said that they left OpenAI because they didn't agree with the direction that the company was taking and wanted to build something that they had envisioned for themselves. So this is a really important point because this is not just a competitor from a big multi-billion-dollar company that created their own AI. This was created by ex-employees of OpenAI. So I'm sure they have some insights about OpenAI and ChatGPT that they're able to use to create their own large language models. What's even more interesting is that since they've launched, they've been able to raise billions, and yes, I mean billions of dollars from Amazon and from Google. Google backed Anthropic by investing $450 million in May of 2023. And in September of 2023, Amazon has committed up to $4 billion to Anthropic. So now Anthropic doesn't just only have the expertise, it also has the funding to be able to directly compete with ChatGPT. Now that we have a better idea of what Anthropic is, let's start the head-to-head comparison. First, we'll be taking a look at pricing. When it comes to ChatGPT, the ChatGPT Plus account is $20 per month. And that's not too expensive by any means. You have access to GPT-4, you have access to DALL-E 3, and all of the new features that ChatGPT is currently rolling out. You also have access to plugins for that $20 per month. On the other hand, Claude 2 is completely free to use. So you can use it for completely free, but do keep in mind that they do throttle you, so you don't have unlimited usage. And if you're a heavy user, then you may need to upgrade to the Claude Pro plan, which is $20 per month. But the Pro plan, I believe, is available in select regions. For the most part, Claude 2 is completely free to use. So that is the main difference in pricing. Previously, Claude was only available in the United States, UK, and Canada, but it's now available in 75 different countries. So more likely than not, you now have access to be able to use Claude for completely free. And I think by looking at this list of countries, I think that you're actually available to use Claude in more countries compared to ChatGPT. So if you're in a developing nation or not one of those popular nations, then you still may also have access to Claude. As you can see, countries like Georgia, Costa Rica, DR, El Salvador, Belize, Barbados, Peru, Philippines, Qatar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and so on, all of these countries now have access to ChatGPT. So if you're in a country that's not supported by ChatGPT, you can use Claude. So for pricing, of course, Claude is going to be a better option because it's completely free to use, but you don't get as much features included in ChatGPT's paid plan compared to Claude's free plan. So we're going to go over features in a little bit, but first let's talk about the API pricing. Now this may not be applicable to you if you're not a developer or you're not building on top of Claude, but if you are a developer, then this is going to be very, very important. In terms of pricing for the API, Claude is cheaper compared to GPT-4. So GPT-4 is the most powerful large language model from OpenAI, while Claude 2 is the most powerful from Anthropic. When we compare the API costs, Claude 2 is currently $32.68 for 1 million tokens, while GPT-4 is 0.06 for 1,000 tokens. So when we work out the math for a single token, or when we convert it to 1 million tokens to make the comparison equal, we can see here that Claude 2 is almost half of the cost compared to GPT-4. Claude 2's API cost is also less when we compare it to GPT 3.5 Turbo 16K, because this is 0.004 per 1,000 tokens. When we do the math on this, Claude is still cheaper. So overall, the API for Claude is cheaper. So if you are building a software, Claude 2 might be the better option for you. So that's for pricing, both for the consumer and for the developer. Now let's talk about the features that's included in ChatGPT versus Claude. Now this is where I think ChatGPT has an upper hand, because if you pay for ChatGPT, you get access to GPT Vision, which means you can upload images onto ChatGPT that is currently not available on Claude. You also have DALL-E 3 integrated with ChatGPT, so that means you can create images from prompts that you have all within ChatGPT. That is also currently not available on Claude, so they do not have a text to image feature which allows you to generate images based upon text. So those two features are not included in Claude. You also don't have things like custom instructions on Claude, and more importantly, you don't have the code interpreter, which allows you to write, edit, and build code with ChatGPT. You do not have that feature available in Claude. So if you are a developer or a coder, then that may be a deal breaker because you wouldn't have that included in Claude, but you still can write and edit code with Claude. It does a pretty good job, but I think code interpreter is better for that specific use case on ChatGPT. You also do not have plugins on Claude 2 as you do have them on ChatGPT. So unfortunately, you don't really have external apps in which you can use in collaboration with Claude to be able to get whatever desired outcome you're trying to go after. While on ChatGPT, you have a variety of different plugins in which you can choose from that allows you to get the most out of ChatGPT. Another important feature that's not included in Claude is the web browsing feature. I do believe that Claude was trained on information much more recently compared to ChatGPT and GPT-4, but you still do not have that ability to browse the live web with Claude. Claude is currently working on that, but that's not something that's included right now, while you do have Browse with Bing and you have the Web Pilot plugins available on ChatGPT. So if you need more live and up-to-date information, then ChatGPT would be a great option for you. So in terms of features and use cases, I would have to go with ChatGPT at this time over Claude 2, and that's simply because you can do much more with ChatGPT. As I mentioned earlier, you have plugins, you have DALL-E 3, which allows you to create images. You can upload images onto ChatGPT. You can browse with Bing and have live and up-to-date information, while we simply don't have those features included in Claude as of yet, of course. Now let's talk about the effectiveness of both of these large language models. I've used ChatGPT and Claude 2 quite a bit, but for specific use cases, that's usually creating long-form articles on blog posts. In my opinion, Claude 2 has gotten really good at creating long-form content that is SEO optimized, that has low AI detection rate, that actually ranks on Google. While ChatGPT can be a hit or miss, sometimes I get some really good articles from ChatGPT, but sometimes I have to prompt it over and over to get the same outputs. So for my specific use case, and probably for your use case as well, when it comes to creating long form articles, I would choose Claude over ChatGPT. But when it comes to a variety of different things, such as creating tables, creating charts, organizing information, I would have to go with ChatGPT because ChatGPT has plugins that allows you to create charts, allows you to organize Excel sheets, and do a lot more because, again, of the features that ChatGPT has. So for my specific use case, I would go with Claude, but it really depends on what you're using these AI chat boxes for. One of them might be better suited for you compared to the other. One of the major differences between Claude and ChatGPT is their token limit. The token limit essentially says how many words the AI can understand, interpret, and talk with. While currently Claude's largest token size is 100,000 tokens, so that means it can understand, it can complete, and it can analyze up to 75,000 words. So there's a big difference in the token limit right now when you compare ChatGPT and Claude 2. So if you're writing longer pieces of content, or if you have a lot of information in which you need to analyze and research, then Claude 2 would be a better option for you. So again, right now you can only insert up to 12,000 words into ChatGPT and it will be able to understand those words, while on Claude you can insert up to 75,000 words. So that's a big difference. And that's why I mentioned earlier, it really depends on your use case and what you're using these AI chat boxes for. One may be better suited for you compared to the other. So that's my face-to-face comparison between Claude 2 and ChatGPT. Let me know in the comments below which one you like better and which one works best for your specific use case. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope that you learned something new. If you did, let it be known by giving us a big thumbs up and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, stay well.